All right, welcome back everyone. Let's go ahead and look at the solutions to the Now You Try problems where we're investigating the vertex form of a quadratic function and trying to determine some attributes about the graph of the parabola from just looking at the function here. And we'll go ahead and check our answers using Geogebra. So given the following functions, we want to determine the x shift, the y shift, the vertex, the y stretch. We want to know if it opens up or down. We want to find the domain. We want to know the range. We want to find the maximum or minimum y value. The first function that we're going to look at is f of x equals 1/2 times x plus 2 quantity squared minus 4. So let's first note that h equals -2, the opposite sign of the plus 2 inside the parentheses, and k equals -4, the same sign as the k value that comes after the square. So we can start running through the questions here. The x shift is going to be left 2 units because that's just the h value. The y shift is going to be down 4 units because k is -4. So we then can know right away that the vertex is the point -2, -4. The y stretch then is just the a value. So the y stretch is going to be 1/2 in this case. A is 1/2, the number in front of the square. It's being multiplied by the square. Does it open up or down? Part 5 here. The a value is positive, so this opens up. And then we want to look at the domain. The domain for this function, well, it's a quadratic function. There is no square root. There is no division as far as having a variable in the denominator. So there's nothing that we couldn't plug in for x. So the domain is all real numbers from -infinity to +infinity. The range you need to think about the fact that this opens up and the vertex is at the point -2, -4. So the range is going to be everything starting at -4 and going up to +infinity. And then the max or minimum value. This is opening up, so it has a minimum value for y. The y's smallest value is -4. Minimum y value is -4. Cool. Go ahead and check that on GeoGebra. Make sure we've got the right idea here. A is +1/2, 0.5. The h value is -2, and the k value is -4. Go. So our vertex is at -2, -4. It's been shifted left 2. It's been shifted down 4. The y stretch is 1/2. If I put that at a 1, we see it gets taller. Right, so what is it? 1/2. It's been the y values have been multiplied by 1/2, so it's really a compression, right? Because we're multiplying the y values by a number smaller than 1. But we can still say the y stretch is 1/2, half of the original y values. And then the domain, it does open up. The domain is everything. It goes to the left and right for forever. The range is -4 to infinity. And the minimum y value is right there at the vertex at -4. Cool. Let's go ahead and look at part B. First, we want the x shift. A equals -5. H is going to be a positive 3/2, and the k value is a positive 6. So the x shift is right 3/2 or 1.5. The y shift is up 6 because it's a positive 6 there. And so we can quickly see then that the vertex is going to be 3/2, 6. The y stretch is the a value. And then this opens down, since the a value is negative. The domain, as with all of these problems, is -infinity to infinity, all real numbers. The range is going to be from -infinity up to 6, including 6. Since this is opening down, this has a top value there, right? The y maximum, let's go and just write that as long as we're looking at this. The maximum y is 6, because that vertex is at 3/2, 6, and that 6 is the highest y value. So all the y values are between -infinity and positive 6. Let's go and scooch this over here. Take a look at the GeoGebra. A is now -5. H is 3/2 is 1.5, positive 1.5. K is positive 6. Oh, gotta change that here. There we go. And there's our function, as we would expect. See, it's downward facing. The x shift is 1.5 to the right. The y shift is up 6. The vertex is 3/2, 6 or 1.5, 6. The y stretch is -5. And if I go, let's see, you can see it's just stretched more downward. That's kind of the hardest thing to see with this. If we go left 1 from here, so to 0.5, let me zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. So from here, if I go left 1 to here and then go down to this point right there, that's gone down 5. And we would expect if it wasn't stretched, it would only go down 1 unit, right? If this was a -1, then we go. So let's see that's what I'd like to be able to show you. There we go. If this is 1.5, then I go to 0.5, and then this point right here, there it is, right there. If I go left 1, I'm going down 1, and that's kind of the standard, but if I do a -5 for that a value, then when I go left 1, I'm going to go down 5. So it stretched the y values by 5, and it's negative, so downward. So it opens down. The domain is all real numbers. The range is -infinity up to that positive 6, like we're expecting. So the maximum y value is 6. All right, that is it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you shortly. Take care.